The Third Crusade. When East and West collided in the scorching summer of 1187, Jerusalem fell to the Muslim forces led by Salahuddin, sending shockwaves throughout medieval Europe. After nearly 90 years of Christian rule, the Holy City was once again under Islamic control. This event would trigger one of history's most fascinating military campaigns, the Third Crusade. Hello history enthusiasts, today we're diving into an epic tale of two legendary leaders, clashing armies, and a battle for one of the most contested cities in human history. Born in modern-day Iraq, Salahuddin rose from humble beginnings to become the first Sultan of Egypt and Syria. He was known not only for his military genius, but also for his mercy, chivalry, and wisdom. When he captured Jerusalem, he prevented the massacre of Christians, stark contrast to the bloodbath that occurred when Crusaders took the city in 1099. The fall of Jerusalem was a devastating blow to Christian Europe. Despite their successes, the Crusaders faced constant harassment from Salahuddin's forces, supply problems, and internal conflicts. Philip II had already returned to France, leaving Richard to carry on alone. European chronicles praised his generosity and honor, making him one of the few Muslim leaders widely admired in medieval Christian literature. Pope Gregory VIII immediately called for a new crusade, and three of Europe's most powerful monarchs answered: Frederick Barbarossa of Germany, Philip II of France, and Richard the Lionheart of England. Both Richard and Salahuddin, recognizing the toll of continued warfare, agreed to negotiate. The resulting Treaty of Jaffa in 1192 allowed Christian pilgrims access to Jerusalem while the city remained under Muslim control. The campaign demonstrated both the limits of military power and the potential for peaceful resolution. Until next time, keep exploring history. Coastal cities would stay in Crusader hands, creating a delicate balance of power. But before we continue, let's talk about the man who changed everything, Salahuddin. The response from Europe was massive. Armies began their march towards the Holy Land, but the journey wasn't kind to all. Frederick Barbarossa, despite his impressive force of 100,000 men, tragically drowned while crossing a river in Anatolia. It reminds us that even in times of war, humanity can prevail through wisdom and understanding. The city finally fell to the Crusaders in 1191, but this victory came at a great cost. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspect of the Third Crusade interests you most? Known for his military prowess and bold personality, Richard led his forces south along the Mediterranean coast. This led to the Battle of Arsuf, where Crusader and Muslim armies engaged in a decisive clash. Richard's tactical genius shone through, securing a significant victory for the Crusaders. The campaign had already exhausted many resources and claimed countless lives. This left Richard the Lionheart and Philip II as the primary leaders of the Third Crusade. The first major confrontation took place at Acre. The siege lasted nearly 2 years, making it one of the longest in medieval history. Now enters one of medieval history's most famous figures, Richard the Lionheart. However, the road to Jerusalem proved more challenging than expected. What makes this crusade particularly interesting is how it ended, not with a decisive battle, but through diplomacy. Salahuddin's legacy lived on long after his death in 1193. He became a symbol of Muslim unity and chivalry, respected even by his enemies. The Third Crusade marked a turning point in East-West relations. It showed that despite religious differences, mutual respect and diplomatic solutions were possible. This fascinating chapter in history teaches us valuable lessons about leadership, diplomacy, and the complexity of human conflict. If you've enjoyed this journey through medieval history, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more historical content. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding our past helps us build a better future.